former United States ambassador to Nigeria, John Campbell, has warned of a possible takeover the recently acquired Super Tucano fighter jets by bandits and terrorists. Mr. Campbell gave the prediction in the light of the fall of the Afghanistan government and the takeover of similar high-grade military jet fighter by the Taliban. The US had also sold 23 Super Tucanos to the Afghanistan government to combat the Taliban, but the Taliban are now in control of at least one of the assault jets following the collapse of Ashraf Ghani's government. Though it seems unlikely at present, there is also the potential that a Super Tucano could fall into the hands of a jihad terrorist group, Mr. Campbell wrote for CFR, citing instances of how terrorist groups seized other military equipment in Nigeria. In August, a Nigeria Air Force fighter jet returning to base from a mission on the Zamfara-Kaduna border crashed under intense gunfire from bandits. The pilot escaped by the whiskers, leaving the wrecked aircraft behind. Nigeria Air Force officially inducted the cis-A29 Super Tucano fighter jet on Tuesday to aid its fight against insecurity in the country. Nigeria was said to have purchased the A29 at about $500 million through Foreign Military Sales Program. The American Embassy in Abuja had described it as the largest scale in sub-Saharan Africa. During the induction ceremony of the Super Tucano jet, U.S. Department of Defense leaders who were also present said that the aircraft will assist the Nigeria aircraft in their fight against violent extremist organizations, including the Islamic State West African Province. A statement by the embassy also disclosed that the U.S. is providing $31.6 million in infrastructure as support at the Kanji Air Base, where the Super Tucanos will be housed. Additionally, 64 Nigeria pilots have been trained at an American Air Force base on how to handle the aircrafts. Mr. Campbell also expressed worries on whether the aircraft will be used to combat terrorism or used against other targets such as the Biafran agitators or Delta militants. Now, the Super Tucanos are part of the Nigeria Air Force. An issue will be how they are used. Will they be used only against jihad terrorists in the north, or will there be the temptation to use them against other targets such as Biafran separatists, Delta militants, or even cattle rustlers? Broader use increase the potential for civilian casualties. A Biafran separatist movement, the indigenous people of Biafra, is suing to block the sale in a Washington, D.C. court. He added, the Nigerian government has over time relied on U.S. arms and military equipment sales to help combat insecurity. When the country battles a myriad of security challenges, critics and rights organizations oppose the sales of the aircraft to Nigeria, citing the Buhari regime's constant abuse of human rights. Well, that is this. The thing there is that it's a good thing to acquire this whole thing, but when somebody has a trust issue, you don't trust them because of the antecedents. We can see, so because at times people, you begin to ask, okay, with all the security challenges that we have, what do we expect them to do, or what could they have done, or how would they have been able to fight these people? The question is that these so-called terrorists, how do they bring in their weapons here if really the government is serious about it? And we have had in most cases where they've hijacked a lot of equipment from the Nigeria army, and people are now asking, we have a lot of them that are now surrendering. They are surrendering. Recently about 1,000 plus insurgents, the terrorists, they just surrendered. So it's like they are just like a community. How come? And at the end of the day, people are asking, are they submitting their equipment as well? Because we never heard about that. They are surrendering, but what about their equipment? How are they are not surrendering it? Because in the past years, since this regime came on board, this government came on board, we can see it clearly. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you, unless you are just being economical with the truth, or you are lying to yourself. They are not there to protect the people. And people are always like, oh, why are people now afraid that we have a security challenges on our hands, and you are saying they should not do this? Because they don't use it for what they needed to be used for. Because now the so-called terrorists are surrendering, but they are not surrendering their weapons. We have never heard of such. We know that all this is arranged. That is it. There's no two ways about it. Innocent until proven guilty. How do you know? Are we not? Can we not see it? Are we not seeing it? They told us that 400 Boko Haram financiers have been arrested. Prosecute them. We don't know them. But you can be talking about Igboho, you can be talking about Nnamdi Kanu. But you said you have those people that you have arrested. They have challenged you to do the needful. You are not doing it. So how do you expect me to trust you again? How do you expect the masses to trust you? That is what we are talking about here. And that is exactly what it could be. If the government can be defending these people, then what else do you want? Then you expect the people to now fold their arms and begin to watch you and begin to believe the garbage that you are going to be dishing out. No, nobody's going to be believing you. We don't even need anybody to tell us what this government stands for. We don't need anybody. Because it is glaring. We don't need anybody to confirm it for us or to validate what we know as Nigerians. We know what is happening. A lot of people are not ready to talk, and some people are just supporting them because of a psychophancy, because of what they want to get. And we don't know that those ones are doomed, because if you cannot see this whole thing, who is interested in this nonsense party, whether you belong to PDP or you belong to APC? Is that what we are talking about? Has any of them helped anybody? Who they help? We are hearing that they are jumping from one party to another. Who they help? They are not helping anybody. If you are in any political party and you cannot tell your party the truth, you are just wasting your time. You are following them because of the crumbs that will fall from the table and they will give to you, that will make your life to be more miserable. Is that the kind of a party you want to join? Is that how to be politically relevant? All of these things have been happening, so it is not a new thing that whether this TÖCÁN0 or whatever they call it will end up in the hands of all this Boko Haram and the rest of them. We don't even need to be looking at what happened in Afghanistan. What we are seeing here, what we are experiencing here, is what we are talking about. Of course, before the Taliban and the Afghanistan issue came up some weeks ago, have we not been experiencing the manner at which the government is going about all this whole thing? So that is it. That is exactly what it is. So guys, leave your comment down there below and let's have your take on this. Thank you.